welcome back to another episode of Young and Self-Employed, the Unfiltered Stories. It is me, your host, Nisa, and I have...
The young one, Carl Christian, the nice agent.
We're starting early, huh? Okay.
All right, today, what are we talking about? How many people are we going to fire in the real estate world, right?
Today, we're talking about, should a real estate agent have a 4-year degree?
Yes.
No.
Let me tell you why I say yes. It's not because I think, school is going to make them better. No. It's because I'm realizing every single day that a lot of agents, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, barely can read, and they are showing properties. Why am I saying that? It's because we actually making people sign contracts here. Contracts that can ruin their lives. And the agent do not even have the comprehension to understand what the contract is. They don't have that level. And I believe a 4-year degree might help with that because you're going to have to go through the process. That's my thing.
Yeah, but me personally, I'd say no because, I didn't know people went to school for real estate until I took the real estate class. And it was crazy to me because they're getting a whole bunch of student loan debt for...
Did you just say she didn't want them to go to... You don't want them to go to school?
I'm not saying not go to school, but to have a 4-year degree is a little bit extreme.
It's extreme. I would go to a PhD.
I mean, maybe they should restructure the courses, the real estate courses, not in like a university, but like in Gold Coast.
I believe that. That I'm with you on that.
Because the contracts, I agree. Even myself.
You see? I'm telling you.
There's so many words in the contract and there's so many pages. Oh my gosh. But no, it definitely would have been something that they should have done to like maybe take a day. Because I took the week course.
I did too.
So maybe they could have taken a day to go through each page of like a basic contract because a lot of, I can tell, even being new, a lot of agents don't really read the contract.
The thing is, there's so many different type of agents. There's the one that do not read the contract at all because they don't care. There's the one that try to read the contract, they don't understand, but they won't say they don't understand. And there's one that literally cannot understand. It's not like they don't want to understand, they just cannot. Right. So they need a lot more training. And unfortunately, a lot of people get in this business for the money. They do not get in the business to be a realtor. That's why the public, and I can sense it, they don't have, I would say, respect is too big of a word, but I just think they don't really put us at a career level. They see us as hustlers.
I can agree with that.
And that is, I believe it's because of the lack of education. I do believe that. Right. I do believe if they understood that you had a degree, if they understood that you went to school, at least to a 2-year college, they would give you a little bit more respect for what you do. Because the exam, the class, opens the book, opens the world of real estate to literally anybody.
Right.
And that to me, it's not right. It's not fair because you have the public here that is being mistreated, being lied to, being taken advantage of, and nobody is saying anything. Right. And to me, why don't we restructure, just like you say, I agree with you 100%. Restructure it. Maybe it should be a 2-year degree accredited college that teach somebody how to read a contract, teach somebody how to read English. Yes. I'll give you a story. I had a phone call, an agent called me, and of course, hola, Carl, ¿cómo está? I'm like, how are you? Speak Spanish? No. Too bad for you, bye. I'm like, are you serious?
Only in Miami. People look at you crazy if you don't speak Spanish. I've been to grocery stores and nobody spoke English. How dare I walk into there not speaking English or not speaking Spanish? I
have nothing. And the truth is what most people don't know is I do speak Spanish, It's just the thing, you cannot obligate me to speak Spanish because I'm in America. So I think that, yes, you can do the real estate course in Spanish. You can do the exam in Spanish. That's fine. But there has to be a regulation that you do need to understand English because if we end up going to court, guess what?
Right.
It's going to be in English.
Right.
So,
And the translation too from another language won't be the same.
so that's why I think, like, yes, restructuring is very important. And unfortunately, the young people, that part I'm not young, they don't understand it. They just go into it because they want to make money. It is a very, real estate is not a hustling job.
Right.
And I need everybody to understand that. If you are listening to us today, the one thing I want to tell you is this: you cannot get into real estate to make money. The reason why it's because you are responsible for too many things. If the money is the only object, you will mess up somebody's life. So take it seriously. Let's go back to it. For your degree or not?
I still say no. I mean, in the class, yes, it is. They may not be as thorough as a 4-year class, but essentially, you know all the laws and regulations because they will not give you that license without you knowing that. And they make it very clear that even though you don't have, I think in universities, they go through contracts and different scenarios. So even though we don't do that in, in the regular like Gold Coast schools or something like that, they make sure you know what you need to know. So at least they can say they gave you the information to not mess up, and you kind of learn on the way.
I
But
think we need to stop saying the name of the school because I'm about to go really hard on it. I don't think that they actually teach you laws or no. I do believe they cram it. They cram it in your head so you can pass the exam, and then you pass, and then they leave it to the broker like me to deal with you. Like that to me is not right. It is not right because there's questions that a new agent is asking me. It's literally like they never actually sat in the class. And to me that I think we need to really restructure, just like you said. I agree with you 100%. What happened is this: if you go to college, if they spend like let's say 6 credit or 3 credits in real estate law, you literally gonna spend 3 months just studying real estate law, and it takes that long for you to have a certain level of comprehension. It's like for you to go to law school, you have to go to college. You cannot just enter law school. The reason why is because they know you need that base in order for you to understand all of that. And that to me is where everybody's going wrong with real estate. I'm the first person asking for it. Please restructure it because I'm seeing the lack of professionalism, the lack of ethic. Like yesterday, I called a mortgage broker 36 times for him, and he did not answer me at all. This morning, he just texted, I'm sorry, I was in a meeting with my accountant about the IRS. I could not pick up my phone. But what he doesn't know is I called his office. The receptionist said, yeah, he's on the phone with a lender. Like that level of professionalism needs to stop. It needs to get to a level where because they know we did not even go to college, we did not do this, we did not pay a lot of money, they don't even teach or treat themselves with respect. That is to me as a non. It's like they see real estate literally as the same with any other self-employed income that anybody created a business. They don't see you as a professional that needs to understand real estate law, principles, math. You have to be involved with a lawyer, with a title company. You have to be involved with an inspector, with an appraiser. You have to understand all of that. But they just dump you into real estate and say, go.
Right. I do agree. It definitely needs to be restructured. Like, maybe I start telling people who have come to me talking about joining real estate, and I tell them I would consider becoming a transaction coordinator first. I would do that first, so when you get into real estate, there's something as big as that is not holding you back. You can very well talk about a contract, and somebody talking about a contract obviously going to be more impressive, if they can be thorough about it. It's like, okay, wow, this person knows this 12-page contract. And transaction coordinating, you learn what goes in and out of a deal and all the steps to it.
I have a question.
That's the
So
question.
why the youngsters just do not read the contract? I always wanted to ask that question. Yeah, why? Can somebody
It's
tell me?
just so many words.
Oh,
So many words.
okay. You know, when I first
So
started,
many words.
I was very young because now I'm young, but I was very young when I started. And my broker, he told me something. I made a mistake on a contract, cost a lot of money, and then he said, "You're gonna sit here and you're gonna study the contract and do not get out until you're done." And I became like a little 12-year-old because I used to go and then I actually like go and tell him, paragraph 12, it says this and that, paragraph 13.
Oh my gosh.
And it's because I'm going to tell you, it was when I was doing that I realized that I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. There's so many things in the contract that can get your client in trouble that you don't understand. And I'll be honest with you, because me, I'm the kind of person that I tell everybody the bad, the good, and the ugly. The reason why I do that is because I want you to learn from what I'm doing, right? And I want you to learn from the mistakes so you don't do them. I caused somebody to be homeless. And the reason why is because I missed a very particular thing in the contract that I never knew that existed, which was specific performance. I never knew what that means. That means in the contract that if a seller or a buyer signed the contract and everybody performed the way the contract says to perform, one party cannot elect to not perform. That party has to do what they call specific performance. So the judge can order them to perform. So a seller cannot just wake up one morning and say, "I don't want to sell anymore." That doesn't exist. In the state of Florida, of course, we're talking. And the judge actually told him he has to sell.
Oh wow.
And he could not find a place to stay in, and now he ended up in a hotel for a minute, then rent after that, and then now he doesn't have a home. And I'm gonna tell you, I take full responsibility, and the reason why, because I missed that part. And that is something they just added in the contract, believe it or not. And that's why you have to be aware of all of the changes. You have to have friends that are attorneys. You have to be involved in real estate. A lot of young people, a lot of new agents, they're not involved in real estate. The thing about it is this: you cannot decide to learn only when you're doing a transaction.
Right.
And that's the problem. A lot of us, we just learn when we're doing a transaction. But when you're new, you do a transaction every 6 months or 8 months. So by the time you learn this, you forget about it.
Right.
And then now you're always in a constant learning process. So to me, advice to everybody. I'm sure they're not going to ask you to do a 4-year degree anytime soon. But if you're in Georgia, you're in trouble because you're going to have to. But let me ask you, please, if you're thinking about joining real estate as a career, make the decision to make it a career. Not a bypass job, not a hustling to go on vacation, not because you're bored at home. Don't do this to your client because you will not service them right. Don't do this to yourself because you're going to be doing a half-ass, job all the time. And to me, you rather leave your peers that are true agents, very professional, that are dedicated, working 24/7. Let them take care of your client better
Right. Because working with you can be an inconvenience to them
all the time.
just because you didn't want to learn something.
Yeah.
And I would say don't be afraid to learn different specialties, like being a transaction coordinator. A TC is what they call it. Because I think that's something. If I were to go back, I would probably start as that first. Honestly.
I don't know. I don't know if I would start as a TC. I think it's just a question of deciding to learn. You don't have to learn something because you're doing it. You can decide to learn it because you, like an example, for you to become an architect, you went to architecture school. You did not just go being an architect so you learn. So to me, if you decide you want to learn about the contract, you can do it. You don't have to be a TC to know everything about the contract. What I would recommend, I'll be honest with you, go work for free as the assistant of a very busy agent. Done. After 3 months, believe me, you will know everything you need to know about real estate. When I mean busy, not somebody closing 2 deals a month. Somebody that is doing at least 10, 15 deals a month. And you will understand systems, you will understand drama, you will understand how they need to be a psychologist, sometimes a psychiatrist, an accountant. They need to be everything. And now you will understand this is what real estate is. And a lot of us, we don't want to do that. Right. Me, if I had to start over, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would find the biggest broker there is in the real estate industry in my area, and I would be like, hey, can I be your assistant for 6 months for free? I'll work 9 to 5 every day, no drama. And I would do it. And I'm sure today I would be 20 times better. I'm telling you.
For free though?
Yes. Yes. You have to pay for knowledge. You don't get paid for knowledge. You have to pay for knowledge. Now, when you are knowledgeable, then people pay you for it. But you have to pay. You cannot go and gain that knowledge, basically for free, because if they're paying you for it, then it's for free. So to me is, what sacrifice are you willing to make in order to make this a career? If you don't want to go for a 4-year degree and you don't want to work for free for 6 months, how are you going to make it a career?
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing the 6 months, but at least minimum wage or something. The economy is not what it was when y'all were growing up, okay? Unless you're living at home or you don't have bills, okay, you can do that.
You can work nighttime somewhere else.
Me personally, I'm tired after one task. After one, not one task, but one event.
What are we gonna do with the young?
You should see me. I get home at 6 o'clock and I'm a vegetable for the rest of the day. It's horrible.
My day starts at 10 p.m.
No. That's bedtime.
At 5:30, I'm up and running.
That's scary.
That's scary. So I guess I'm Dracula.
Maybe.
Where's the energy? But you're supposed to be young.
Energy. I'm anemic.
This is insane. People, are you hearing this?
I can't even pretend to have energy if I wanted to. I can only do my best.
Oh my God. This is it. I'm done. You know what? This show, this is it. No, but we need...
I do agree. Dedicating your time to something for sure. However that looks and works for you. Even if it's a situation where you have to compromise, that's probably the one for you.
Me, the way I say it is this. You can be handed success or you can earn it. You decide which one is more valuable to you. Handed means that somebody will come and say they like you and they give you 10 clients and say go. But you have to remember one day they will shut off that valve. So you can either learn from it or you can basically say, hey, let me, just wait until they shut off the valve and go for someone else. Or you can decide to earn it. When you earn it, it stays forever. Yesterday, that's why I love the topic, I found my first contract as a real estate broker. Well, not broker, I was a real estate agent. My very first contract with Cap Realty Corp, right? And it says that I will start the year at a 50-50 split. And every $80,000 sold, I will grow to 5%. So every 180. So after that, it will be 55, 45 in my favor, then 60, then 65, and it stopped at 80. And it reset every year.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, she said, oh my gosh. It reset every year.
That's
okay?
Crazy.
And I'm going to tell you something. The most money I've ever made in real estate was with that structure. The most money. And I mean a lot of money. To the point where when I left that company, the company shut down.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? I've been to companies where the broker offered me 95.5. That was a nightmare. Don't make that mistake. I went to another one where it was like 90-10. That was another nightmare. Don't make that mistake. But I'm going to tell you, it's not about the money. And I realized that the reason I say about the 4-year degree is because there's a level of maturity that you gain through college. You will understand what percentage means. a 50-50 split is not good for you because you're looking at your current production. An example, if I come to you and say, hey, come work as my assistant and I'll give you 10% of my income. My income today, let's pretend it's $100,000. So you're making $10,000 a year. It's not enough, right? You're going to be like, that's crazy. How am I going to make 10? But you don't realize that, hey, this is the way this guy is working. If I work 3 months and increase his income to $500,000, I'm making 50. Mm-hmm. What I realize in real estate, a lot of you do not see that future. Mm-hmm. It stays right there. And that's why real estate is going crazy.
I mean,
that's my opinion.
That's true. Some people, I mean, especially working with you, like, it has shed some light on that, but looking in retrospect, like, people really don't. They see dollar signs. They don't see percentage because a lot of them can't do math anyway. But
that's why they need a 4-year degree so they can do math.
I mean, I don't think you need a 4-year degree though. I don't think so. I wouldn't say you need a 4-year degree, but it's just that if you take courses somewhere else, like at a technical school, it's going to be a lot more work on your end and learning what you didn't learn.
Okay, let's agree to disagree.
Okay.
Not a 4-year degree, but if you are in real estate, you need to be well versed in English. Mm-hmm. The contract is in English. You need to be well versed in, I would say, social skills. Okay, because you're gonna meet with people. You cannot. I see some agents talking to their client. This is just out of this world. Let's just put it that way, okay? Or they're talking to you as a peer that they may even see in the future, they may need in the future, and then you like the one that says, too bad for you. Okay, right. You know? So those things, you need them. So I believe the restructuring should be more about adding these kind of classes and then go back to real estate. Right. It's just, to me, it's pointless that you make somebody cram 20 chapters of a book in a week and 7 days. And I'll be honest with you, like chapter 10, I don't even know what was in that chapter. I
think chapter 10 is contracts.
I don't even remember.
I don't know.
Okay, because it was 1 week, 9 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, and you had to do it, and then you pass the test, and then boom, you go to your broker, and your broker was like, okay, go read that contract. And you're like, what contract, where, how? That's real estate for you. So my advice before we go is this. If you're thinking about real estate, take it seriously. It is not a bypass job. It is not a hustling job. It is not something you do because you were bored at home. Because people's lives, children's lives, everything depends on you. One story that I tell to all of my agents and my family members is this. Look at any movies. Everything started with a realtor. Whether it's a bad movie, whether it's a great romantic movie, it all started with a realtor. Mostly the horrific ones. The realtor showed that bad house and then it's haunted. You know, it's to show you the story that everything starts with you. Mm-hmm. So if you don't take it seriously, why would you do that to someone?
Right.
All right. So that's my advice.
My advice would to be, if you really want to get into real estate, start introducing yourself to the world of real estate before you even start taking your class, before you even get your license, whether that's, getting a job that is in the field or just immersing yourself.
Work for free.
Anyways. If that means, immersing yourself in the world, start going to networking events, start meeting realtors, get yourself in that world so you can have some idea. Don't go decide you want to get your license, go get your license, and then now you discovered real estate. Get into it first as where you can and how your life fits it, and then
I follow your advice, and for those that are listening to us that are not realtors, that do not have the intention of becoming realtors, I believe that this should be for anything. I follow your advice. I do believe that if you want to be an architect, or you want to be an artist, or you want to be, a handyman, anything that you want to become, be part of that world. A lot of us, we do not want to like join other people, learn from other people. Yes, I believe that, and I agree with you 100%. The young and self-employed.
Unfiltered stories. Thank you.